this side of you, so we're 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Should I dye my hair?
No, you look great. You look good. Hey, y'all. Put it in.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
The bugs.
I'm glad it's not noon.
It's hot.
It is hot. I was gonna work from home, but then I drove. And I think Barry was leaving, so I took her partner's plan. And she's like, she's gonna go home. It's kind of early. I think he's just waiting. He might be waiting for the media.
Can you ask him? Can you just walk over and ask him?
Yeah.
Okay, let me turn off these text notifications. My Lord. What is happening?
I don't know. I still looking at
Is Felicia here? Is she here? I don't even see her. She's on the way. She's on the way. I'm not caught up on my chats here. Hey, hey. Thanks. I can't.
Yeah, sorry.
I
Them in the back or here? Okay, guys, y'all ready? Y'all good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready. We're ready whenever we go. Tim, we're good to go.
Remember to say your name and welcome everyone.
You go. You go.
We'll ask Tim. Are we ready, Tim?
Yeah, whenever you guys are ready to go.
My name is Steve Gross. Stevegross. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here, lending an ear to our situation here. My name is Steve Gross. I am a rabbi in this community, a staunch fighter for social justice issues. I'm a parent of a 5th grader at the Mandarin Immersion School, and I want to thank everyone here for joining us. I'm the first of 3 parents who will be addressing this group today, and afterwards we'll address some questions. We are here as parents. We are here as Houstonians. We are here as fierce supporters of public education to defend our amazing school family and the unfortunate and unnecessary crisis that has emerged over the course of these recent months.
Back up and start that first sentence that you just finished.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. We are here as parents. We are here as Houstonians. And we are here as fierce supporters of public education to defend our amazing school and school family and address an unfortunate and unnecessary crisis that has emerged over the course of the past few months at our school. For the past 6 years, MIMS has been led by Principal Chang. He is a dedicated, compassionate educator. His bilingual skills are critical and crucial in maintaining Mandarin-speaking teachers. And through his hard work, he has engaged and embraced our children and brought our school to a thriving status, not only in the city, but across the country. We have a 97 rating from the TEA, and our students are winning academic contests nationwide. Our school's education model has become an example around the country for strong bilingual and bicultural education. We have one of the most, if not the most diverse student bodies in the entire city. And we are very proud of that and proud to work together as parents as well. So why are we here? Rather than working on this issue with our school, with our teachers, with our parent community, to address the concerns of a small group of parents, HISD administrators, the school support officer, and regional superintendent has grossly mismanaged a situation and put Mr. Chang in an untenable situation. Be demoted, fired, or quit. Given those options in February, Mr. Chang chose to submit his resignation. HISD told Mr. Chang to stay quiet about his leaving for months, knowing that parents were making very crucial decisions regarding their magnet school decisions for their children's academic future, and allowing teacher transfer windows to close. While no single entity is solely responsible for the crisis at hand, all of us, parents, teachers, administrators alike, must be accountable for finding a viable way forward for our school and for our children in a positive way. At this time, we are faced with the heartbreaking prospect of saying goodbye to the absolute center of our community, the heartbeat of our school, our principal. We choose to send our children here to the Mandarin Immersion Magnet School to be immersed both in Mandarin Chinese language and the Mandarin culture. However, Houston Independent School District administrators have made it clear that they do not believe that speaking Mandarin is a requirement for the next principal that will lead the Mandarin Immersion Magnet School forward. We strongly disagree with this. We will not stand for this. This is the first of an ongoing struggle as we're standing together to move forward in a positive way. We thank you for your time and for listening.
Hi, good morning. My name is Sandra Lozano, S-A-N-D-R-A-L-O-Z-A-N-O. I am parent here at the Mandarin Magnet School, and I'm part of the Hispanic community in Houston. What brings us together today is our desire for a quality, rigorous, bilingual education that will prepare our children for a global economy. Learning Chinese is hard. In fact, every language different than your mother tongue is hard to learn. And the teachers here at the Magnet School have high expectations of our children, as it should be. This is why our school has thrived. And yet, time to time, in the past 2 years, HISD administrators have asked our teachers and our principal to lower our standards because of the demands of a few parents that keep continually communicating with the HISD school support offices and the area superintendent to do so. Our teachers are now afraid to speak up, to giving a kids a failing grade. They are under pressure to make the school easier, and they feel terrified to even keep control over their classrooms. Our teachers simply want to feel safe and secure and supported to do their job they were hired to do. Principal Chang tried many ways and his best to manage these diverse expectations, and yet he was punished for doing so. We as parents want to maintain the high education in our school. We want to maintain the highest standards. Those standards need to be extended to our next principal. And even though we fear that HISD administrators already have picked a candidate that is no Mandarin speaker to replace Mr. Chang, we are asking them, imploring them to conduct an honest, transparent principal search, inclusive to all the parents and with input from the teachers as well. The Mandarin Immersion Managed School is one of the best schools in Houston. It's one of the best schools in HISD and the state of Texas. To build on its success, it is crucial that the new principal is bilingual and bicultural. So the mission of our school is no compromise at all. Thank you.
My name is Pranika Sinha, Pranikasinsha. Good morning. I have a 5th grade daughter here at MIMS, and we have been part of the school community since its inception. Can you imagine leading a community of 700 families and teachers while knowing your bosses had already forced you to resign? Principal Chang has carried out his job under the most difficult of circumstances with grace, dignity, and the utmost composure. Since news broke that he was forced to resign, parents and teachers, our community has quickly mobilized. We have over 2,000 signatures on a change.org petition in Principal Chang's support, and many of the community is here today. Yet when the former assistant principal of our school posted his supportive comments online, he was met with anonymous threats. People have even called his new employer in Utah asking for private information, seeking to intimidate him. A parent in our community has experienced this as well. We will not be intimidated into silence, and we will not back down. We are a community of amazing families and exceptional educators, and we want our school to succeed. We need a fluent Mandarin speaker to lead our school. Otherwise, one of HISD's most successful schools will collapse. We hope that is not the ultimate desire of HISD administrators. We hope HISD wants high-performing schools like T.H. Rogers, Lanier, and MIMS to succeed. We hope the dismissal of a number of principals from high-performing schools this year is merely a coincidence and not a trend. Mr. Chang has led an exceptional transformation of our school to be one of the highest-performing schools in HISD. The parents you see around you today are firm believers in public education and HISD. We want to stand with the district and show the TEA that our children are embracing HISD. We believe Mr. Chang was forced to resign for completely untenable reasons. Troubling information has come to light regarding how the district has handled parent complaints and accusations. This information turns on its head the idea that Mr. Chang has mishandled parent relationships and reveals that it is HISD leadership that has engaged in patterns of decision-making about complaints that do not represent the opinions of the parent community at large. We are calling on HISD's Board of Trustees to open an independent investigation into how HISD leadership has handled decision-making with respect to parent complaints, as well as support of our teachers and administrators. HISD leaders have, over the last 2 years, removed many meaningful academic and behavioral standards that used to exist at our school without wider input from the parent community. Our highly diverse group of families chose MIMS because of these very standards. We believe all students can live up to high standards and achieve at high levels. We believe HISD's disregard for behavioral and academic standards shows a contempt for its own student handbook and published magnet standards, which each parent and student signs to abide by. We call on HISD to investigate the reasons for these changes, which were not initiated by our SDMC or any MIMS school-based body. That is why the parents of children at the Mandarin Immersion Magnet School want to do. We want a transparent principal selection process for a Mandarin-speaking principal. We want our teachers to feel fully supported and not scared, and we want to uphold the high-quality education and expectations that are aligned with our school mission. We hope HISD agrees with us and helps us move forward by ensuring our principal is bilingual, bicultural, and embraces our community. And we hope that HISD and the Board of Trustees recognizes the concerns we have brought forth today. This really affects not just the Mandarin Immersion Magnet School, but all schools in HISD. Parents of HISD students, please speak up. Hold HISD accountable. Ask for transparency in HISD decision making and support our exceptional administrators and educators. Thank you all so much for your time and for listening. We will now take questions.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on that open independent investigation you're asking with HISD?
Well, many parents here are going to speak at the board meeting tonight. We believe that there has been some decision making by HISD leadership that has not been transparent nor been fair, and we would like them to open an independent investigation into how decisions have been made regarding parent complaints and the support of teachers, as well as the resignation of Principal Chang.
One question. Technically, given this circumstance, if Principal Chang still remain silent, is there any way to reverse the decision by himself?
So I think that Principal Chang would have to comment on that decision as well as HISD. As a parent, I can't do that.
Question. Do we know the ethnicity of the decision makers? And do we know the diversity, the Asian diversity in the administration of HISD? Do we know that?
I do not have that full information.
Because that'd be very curious.
It is indeed a good
Personally,
question.
I believe Asians are underrepresented. So I think.
Do you know the reason that was given when he was forced to resign? Or was there a clear reason?
He was asked to either be put on a performance plan or asked to resign. If he stayed, he would have, his choices were a demotion, put on a performance plan, or resignation.
And as a parent, I mean, I see all of the, a bunch of student signatures. Can you speak to kind of what they're feeling through this?
I invite other parents to please speak up about your children. My child, who is here, wore a MIMS Strong shirt today and has actually written HISD administrators before about the unfair support she thinks that her teachers has received. And I'll tell you that some of this has willed her desire to be a lawyer, to stand up for other people and social injustices.
The overwhelming support we've had from all of our parents within 24 hours of news. You can see they quickly rallied because we all support Mr. Chang, and the teachers and staff as well. They have signed a petition on their own that will be submitted to the HISD board. Every single staff member signed that petition in support of Mr. Chang. And clearly you can see our parents and our children all love Mr. Chang. We know him. We've known him for the last 6 years being in this program. He has built this program. We know this is not a decision he would abandon us for. He is committed to the program. He's committed to us. So we know that the support, we want to support him now in the decision that he has been basically forced to take.
Mandarin immersion education is what he wants his legacy to be and what it has been. And you can see that so many children who have signed this banner feel the same way.
So you guys talked about transparency and
reinstate Mr. Chang, if that's a possibility? Is that the message we're trying to relay to HISD right now? Because I know that was never brought up. You guys asked for transparency during the process of choosing a new principal. So at this point, are you just here to rally around Mr. Chang, saying that you would obviously support him, you don't approve of the decision by the school district, but what happens to Mr. Chang now?
Mr. Chang is an exceptional human being and educator, and I think that I can speak for so many people here that he has our unwavering support. And if that were an option, I know that many parents would welcome, and children would welcome him back. We don't know if that's an option.
And it almost seemed like you guys were going a little bit deeper into the fact that you felt like there wasn't much transparency by HISD for the last several months, not just for this particular school, but for several schools throughout the district. Is that correct? Is that...
Yes, absolutely.
Could you speak a little bit more on that, please?
I think those schools would have.
I think those schools and their parent communities would have to speak about that, but just from speaking to people, it seems that there has not been transparent communication about leadership stepping down at several other schools that I mentioned.
Are we talking about just the current, the past superintendent, or past superintendents? Are we speaking just about Mr. Chang right now, as far as this school goes? Has this ever happened before?
No, our school has only been around for 7 years. The program has been 7 years, and Mr. Chang took over. He's been our principal for 6 years, so he's really the one that has built our program and kept it. And given the diversity of our population and just all the different, he has really brought this school together. He is the glue within our school. I always say he is the heartbeat of our school, and they are literally ripping that out from us. And so we want to make sure if there is an option for him to reinstate, for him to reconsider his resignation, we would love that. But we know there's also, we want to make sure that he's protected. You know, we want to put him in a situation where he feels safe and comfortable running a school. He is an educator, and his first and foremost priority is our children. And what more could you ask for from someone who's leading a school?
Yeah, I know you guys said you're attending the board meeting later this evening, but has HISD responded at all to the message you're trying to relay? Have parents been in touch with the district? Have you spoken to anyone from the district?
We have. I mean, there are several parents that have reached out.
Yes. Last Friday.
Yeah. Have you heard a response from the district yet?
Well, at this moment, the only thing we are hearing is that this is a personal decision of Mr. Chang's, and he is resigning. So this is why a lot of our focus now is also, if that is truly the case, which is why we want to see the investigation, because if any corporation, anywhere, if you have a top performing employee, you have a top performing leader, what did they do to retain this person if they say they were going to resign? And clearly, us knowing Mr. Chang, this just doesn't seem like what he would do. He would not just leave the school when he has committed his time and everything to build it. So we just want to make sure that if that is truly the case, if he truly resigned, then that's why our focus is to make sure we keep the integrity of this program and that we have a Mandarin speaking principal that takes over. But again, we have a lot to look into and have questions for HISD, which is why we'll be there at the board meeting tonight.
Have you guys spoken to Mr. Chang?
Yes, we speak to Mr. Chang.
Right. And when you tell him that the district says it was a personal decision on his part, what is his response?
That it's a personal decision on his part.
So he sticks with what the district is saying?
Yes.
Yeah. But you guys believe that that's
Otherwise,
not
we believe otherwise.
He cannot comment on the issue.
Right.
He's not allowed to comment on the issue.
I mean, let's not be silly.
Right.
We know that that's
Right. I have served as a PTO president for 2 years and on the SDMC for 2 terms. So I work very closely with Mr. Chang, and I know his commitment and dedication to our school and our children. He doesn't have to say anything. You can tell that his dedication is here. So he is saying that he has voluntarily resigned. We believe otherwise, and this is why you see that we are MIMS strong. We are focusing on making sure we understand the reasons. What were the reasons? Was there an exit survey performed on why we would lose such a high-performing principal? And what was done to retain him? Was there any options? Was there any kind of challenges he faced that we don't know about, but maybe his higher-ups did?
And HISD leadership has not had an open forum with the parent community to address these concerns and questions. Even though one school support officer came last Friday to our scheduled PTO meeting, she would not take open questions. She wanted to make statements, and there was no open forum, and we, as of now, do not have one scheduled yet.
How about your board members?
The
What
HISD
about the board
board?
members?
Yeah.
We are going to address them this
Where-
afternoon.
Talk to her, and what does she say?
Our, the HISD board,
Yeah.
we are planning to address them to this afternoon at the board meeting.
Yeah, at the board meeting, but I mean on the phone before this. Have
There-
you talked to them?
There have been some conversations. I personally have not.
I have not either.
But somebody has.
Some
I
parents
think
have.
others have.
What did they say? What did she say?
They are staying with the fact that he has resigned. And so that's why our focus has been on, if that's truly the case, we are looking to make sure we maintain this program with a principal and a leader that understands the culture and the language.
But others didn't know about the situation at all. Some board members didn't know about this situation at all.
Could you state your name?
Lisa Lim, L-I-M as in Mary.
Your first name
Lisa, L-I-S-A.
and your name, please?
Pranika Sinha, Pranika Sinha.
The positions you hold?
I'm a former PTO board member.
And past PTO president for 2 terms and shared decision-making committee for 2 years.
And my husband is also on the shared decision-making committee and multiple past board positions.
Primarily parents.
Yes.
Right.
But yes, first and foremost, we are parents.
Have you ever got crosswise with the administration before?
No.
So this is the first time, and you were surprised.
It felt like the rug was ripped right under from us. It was a surprise.
It was completely unexpected. There was no indication. There was no discussion.
So the
That's why
parents,
we want transparency.
did parents just find out about this? 'Cause
We were notified last
Last
Wednesday,
week.
yes, with the letter that we received in our children's folder.
oh, right.
And a
And-
robocall that went out.
Yeah, the robocall was my favorite. What did the robocall say? That Principal Chang had resigned.
They just read the same letter that they sent on the folder.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to
Parents
say,
were notified last week.
yes, we were all
Mr.
notified
Chang
this
was
week.
told of his resignation.
February.
In February, and was told to hold it.
Even from
Especially
the staff.
as you know, people had to make decisions about their magnet choices, and teachers had to make decisions.
You will get a lot of the testimonies and information also on our Facebook page, which is Support Principal Chang, and our petition that has over 2,200 signatures at the time on change.org, with statements from our previous assistant principal that has since been promoted and is working in a different state. But it is very unanimous and clear that he has a lot of support, and so we just want some understanding around how this happened.
What do you guys think is the real reason he was forced to resign?
Well, we wish that the HISD administration would let us know that.
I mean,
Because
you
all
obviously
they've
feel
said,
something and you
well,
think
yes,
that
but all they've said is that it's a personal decision. But I think the crux is that this school is such a high-performing school, and he has led this school for 6 years. Obviously, the success of the school has to do with his leadership. So that's why we can't understand why they would take him down from his leadership position without explanation.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a parent, we are concerned because this is the future of, our school is 100% magnet. Every child that comes here applied and got a seat. We have a wait list that's hundreds long. So we are very concerned about the future of this school if Mr. Chang, 1, is not reinstated, but 2, if we don't have the leader that we are looking for. A lot of parents have bought homes, moved. They have come to this school for the Mandarin immersion program for Mr. Chang because they saw what he could lead. And so to do that changes a lot for a lot of families. It affects a lot of kids. And so we want to make sure that that is why, if he is truly not going to be our principal, then this is important, that we find the right leader for our school and for our children and for our teachers. Our teachers need to feel supported by whoever is leading them. They don't want to feel that at any point that they could have the rug ripped right out from under them too.
The wait lists for the school entrance at both pre-kindergarten and kindergarten are extremely long and have been for years. People are wanting to come to this school because it's successful and they want their children to learn another language. And with those wait lists so long, how could you take out the exceptional leader that the Mandarin Immersion Magnet School has?
How many kids are in school now?
We have 720. Funding is just a whole nother issue, because as we continue to grow, this is our first 8th grade class. We are a pre-K through 8th grade class, and since we have only been around for 7 years, we have our first graduating 8th graders of 15 students, 15. We are going to be a school of 820 possibly next year, which is another 100. We are not given additional funding for additional teachers. We are only allowed to keep the teachers that we have by maintaining that, which is to me also another issue, because how do you possibly teach all these children with the same amount of teachers that we have, adding more students and not adding funding for us? So there are some questions we have to keep this program going. Our parents rally, as you can clearly see. We've got a very supportive parent community, and we do this all for our children, because it's important that what we are doing and why we're here, ultimately our kids are suffering. And we want to make sure that they love this school. There are testimonies, like I said, if you just go on our page, the kids love this school. They love Mr. Chang. They love their teachers. They want to feel like they can continue in this program. So we just want to focus on making sure that happens for them.
Lori Lawler from Houston Federation of Teachers. I'm the organizer and the representative for the teachers of your children. I'm here to support the teachers. And I have a question in regards to the interview selection. And if Mr. Chang does decide to go forward with leaving MIMS, or Mandarin Immersion, we want to secure and make sure that we have a committee that's set up, or at least people that will come out and help to be a part of that interview. But our main concern at this point is your children's teachers and the support that they get in the classroom, whether it be for behavior, whether it be for a right that they have that has maybe been violated. And at this point, we are going forward with asking the district to make sure that the cultural awareness issue that has been placed upon this campus is being addressed with those that will be part of the interview process if Mr. Chang should decide to move on to another district, another campus. I started my position here in September, and I will say that there are some teachers that have issues with the cultural awareness, maybe even behavior in the students, and at all times Mr. Chang has been supportive to the best of his knowledge. But right now we care about the rights of our teachers and what their say is in the interview process. I speak to this as not only a parent myself, a grandparent, but also a veteran teacher of 27 years. So I want you to know who I am. I'm Lori Lawler, spelled just like dollar. LoriLollar, and I'm the one that comes in here to listen to the teachers. So I commend all of you for your support. But again, this is something that HFT Local 2315 is not only asking, but demanding of the district. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if y'all need a media packet, let me know, please.
I do, and can I get your phone number? Can I get your phone number, please?
Lisa, L-I-S-A,
Your phone.
832-549-4049.
4049.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
713.
Probably work better if it was on there.
435-9158.
No, they got it. They got it. I already have it.
Thank you very much.
I have a quick question. So, just to be clear, you guys found out only last week?
Yes, that's correct.
Dang. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the information. They're really
I taught in China. I know what this is like.
Yeah.